morning, Connection Point Church family. I don't even know what day we're on for these first fives, but here's another one. This is Monday, and so it's my hope that you connected with us yesterday as we were online. It's my hope that maybe you'll continue to connect with us online again. If you haven't connected with the service yet, feel free to go to our website or our Facebook page or our YouTube page and go there and make sure you're just staying in tune with us as we continue to worship together. And so this morning I was thinking this week about how this is really such a time of uncertainty for us. And what do we do in times of uncertainty? We reach out for something, for some kind of hope. And so I got to tell you about when I was in college. I didn't know where I was going to go. I had been dating a girl and was single. I just kind of felt lost. And I wasn't sure what was next. And it was at that time, my senior year, we were kind of trying to figure out what's going to come. And I remember just kind of crying out to God and saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And I did the one thing that I tell people never to do because I think it's a terrible way to know who God is or to understand the scriptures. I just said, God, give me a word for today. And I open up my Bible. Don't ever do that, by the way, because it really is a bad idea. I mean, this particular time it worked out for me, but I'm about to do something that I hate. I'm taking a passage of scripture completely out of context. And normally I say, like, we should understand what the scripture says in light of the whole and all those kind of things. But I'm going to do right now the opposite of what I always tell people to do when we read the Bible. So I opened the Bible that day. I was just kind of crying out to God and saying, God, I don't know what to do. And so I read these words from Psalm 120, verse 1. And the words are pretty simple. They just say this: I call on the Lord in my distress, and he answers me. And I think for us right now, man, that's such a true thing for us, is we don't know what to do. For some of us, we're feeling kind of lonely right now. We think a few days at home sounds kind of fun until we do it, and then we're like, man, I need some people in my life. For others of us, it has exasperated kind of where we have been before, and we just feel like we're just lonely and we've been forgotten. And so I want to challenge you a couple ways today. One, I want to challenge you to remember that God says that when you call on him in our distress, he answers. Jesus again and again reminds us that God's listening. He hears our voices. And we see Jesus even himself crying out to the Father. And so we recognize in that there's an invitation for us to be people of prayer. And so I want you to pray. Cry out to God. Call to him in your distress and see if he won't answer you. Now, the problem for us sometimes is the way he answers is not always how we want him to answer. Because I got to be honest with you, I was still single after I prayed. I was still hoping for a job because I didn't get either one of those. But it was as if in that moment, God said to me, hey, will you just trust me with your future? Will you just trust that I love you? Will you trust that I'm here for you? And so here's the thing. If you are in distress today, if you're suffering, if you're hurting, if you're confused, just trust God. Trust that he's near. Trust that when you cry out, he hears and he answers our prayers. And so as our Connection Point Church family is trying to figure out what these days look like, and as we continue to explore what it looks like to know God's love, I'd encourage you to reach out to other people who maybe are in distress as well. And so here's my challenge to you, that if you are distressed, then find 5 people. 5 people who are in our church or in our community, and just reach out to them and say, hey, just want to know I was thinking about you today. Just want you to know I was praying for you. And so here's the thing for you today. Set aside just a few moments, go in a space that's quiet, and call on the Lord in your distress and see if he won't answer you. And here's the reality. It may not be an answer how you expect, but what I believe to be true with all that I am is that God loves us, that he comes near to us, and in those moments, he offers his presence even if we don't get the answer we thought we would get. But he does give us an answer by his sheer presence. And so today, know that I'm praying for you. I hope you're praying for me. And we're going to try to figure out how to be God's unique people, how to be his church in these unique days. And so may you go throughout this day with God's grace and his peace and his love.